Hi class, welcome to Business 20 Introduction to Business. In today's lecture, we're going to be learning about managing human resources. Our learning objectives are define human resource management, explain how companies train and develop employees, and examine the different key human resource activities. What is human resources? Human resource management is the process of hiring, developing, motivating, and evaluating employees to achieve organizational goals. The goals and strategies of the firm's business model form the basis for making human resource management decisions. HR practices and system comprise the firm's human resource decision support system that is intended to make employees a key element for gaining competitive advantage. The five key human resource activities that we'll be looking at are staffing, training and professional development, compensation, safety and health, and employee and labor relations. Key human resource activities continue. Our staffing. So the HR department, they plan out an HR plan that allows them to see what jobs are needed for the organization. They gather information together by the job that needs to be performed, and they analyze it to identify the task, responsibilities, and skills that entail that position. They also need to look into the knowledge and abilities needed to perform it. Managers also use the information collected for the job analysis to prepare two documents: the job description, which lists the duties and responsibilities of a position, and a job specification, which lists the qualification, skills, and knowledge and abilities needed to perform the job. Then the HR department does the employment recruitment, which is the process of identifying suitable candidates and encourage them to apply for openings in the organization. In the recruiting and hiring process, managers must comply with anti-discrimination or violated, they can have legal consequences. So what is employment discrimination? When an employer treats an applicant or employee less favorable merely because of a person's race, color, religion, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, national origin, disability, or status as a protected individual. The different ways that organizations conduct recruitment are through social media, advertising, employment websites such as LinkedIn. They also do it through job fairs in person, through job fairs and referrals. Job fairs, you could go to your local city website and you're able to find different jobs fairs. If you're in right now that you're in college, you're also able to visit the different job fairs that sometimes your colleges might host. Internships and talent pools. So internships, you will have to either search for them online, talk to someone within your school or organization that you're working in, and they could provide you with the different internships available. Key human resource activities continue. We're going to look into training and professional development, focusing on the training and development of employees and performance appraisals. So training and professional development in an organization is an important part because it equips employees with the skills, knowledge, and competency needed to succeed and adapt their work environment. By investing in training or workshops, certificates, and learning opportunities, Organizations empower their employees to perform better, take on new challenges, and bring innovation solutions to the table. A company's commitment to growth not only enhances individual career satisfaction, but also strengthens the organization as a whole by improving productivity, fostering employee engagement, and retaining top talent. Training and development examples are one, the onboarding of a new employee and providing professional development opportunities is a key investment for the organization. HR is in charge with seeing that those efforts and resources are well spent and utilized. Performance appraisal. Employees generally want their managers to tell them three things: what they should be doing, how well they're doing it, and can how they can improve the performance. Good managers address these issues on an ongoing basis. On a semi-annual or annual basis, they also conduct a formal performance appraisal to discuss and evaluate employees' work performance. The basic three steps process of an appraisal are one, before managers can measure performance, they must set goals and performance expectations and specify the criteria, such as quality of work, quantity of work, initiative that they use to measure performance. Two, at the end of a specified time period, managers complete written evaluations that rate employee performance according to the predetermined criteria. Three, managers then meet with each employee to discuss the evaluation. Jointly, they suggest ways in which the employee can improve performance, which might include further training and development. Key human resource activities continue. Now let's look into the compensation and benefits. People work to get a paycheck and benefits package that matter to them. By offering a competitive pay and benefits package, organizations attract and retain qualified employees. Companies that typically pay their employees more than their competitors generally have a lower turnover. So now let's look into some compensation and benefits packages. So one way of getting paid is through wages and salaries. Wages are paid according to the number of hours you work. So if you work 40 hours in a week, if you per se make $20 an hour, you're getting paid $800 per week. Salaries are fulfilling the responsibility of a position regardless of the number of hours required to do it. So for example, if you're salary based, such as a teacher, you're getting paid roughly $5,000 a month to complete your work. That means that you're doing your grading, you're doing your lesson plans, you're teaching, and any other activity that revolves around your position, you will get paid those $5,000 no matter if you work more or less hours a week. Commission base is workers are paid accordingly to the quantity of product and they produce or sell. An example of this is a car salesperson. If they sell X number of the higher the number of cars they sell a month, the higher their paycheck will come out to. Some incentive programs that companies use are the bonus plans. So this is an annual income given in addition to the salary and are based on individual and company-wide performance. If the company has a profitable year and if you contribute to the success, you'll get a bonus. If the company doesn't do well, you may be out of luck regardless of your personal performance. You might not receive a bonus. Profit sharing plans. This means that an employee profit share depends on the company's operating profit profit for the year. If profits from operations reach 10% of sales, for example, the employees gets a bonus of worth of let's say a certain percentage of their salary. Stock optional plans are used as an incentive to attract and retain top people. Stock options plans gives the employees the right to buy a company stock at a predetermined price within a set time frame. Now let's look into benefits. Benefits is another major component of an employee's compensation package. The types of benefits that you might see in your compensation package are one, Social Security and Medicare, unemployment insurance, workers' compensation, which are legally required benefits. Others are paid time off, such as vacation, holidays, sick leave, having insurance, such as health insurance, life insurance, and disability insurance, and retirement benefits. Key human resource activities continues. Now let's look into the safety and health. HR managers are also responsible for understanding and implementing the best and safety and health practices in their industry and addressing any relevant employee concerns. Safety and health activities include the following: ensuring compliance with legal requirements based on a job function for safety measures, such as wearing hard hats in a construction zone, providing counseling for law enforcement, and the appropriate safety equipment for chemists. Many of these requirements were specified by the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, known as OSHA. Implementing new safety measures when laws change in a given industry is also an important component of the HR activities. They will then, HR will then need to discuss the safety and compliance with the relevant government departments and with the unions. Key human resource activities continue. Now let's look into the employee and labor relations. In the employee and labor relationships activities, HR defends the employees' rights. They coordinate with unions and mitigate disagreements between employees and employers. Mitigating disagreements investigating claims of harassment or other workplace abuses, discussing employee rights with unions, management, and stakeholders, acting as the voice of the organization and or the voice of the employees during and broader organizational issues pertaining to employees' welfare. Some of the labor laws that were put into place was the National Labor Relations Act of 1935, which created collective bargaining and labor management relationships and limited the rights of management interference in the right of employees to have collective bargaining agent. The Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938, which established a national minimum wage paid forbade child labor and provided for overtime pay in designated occupations. It declared the goal of assuring a minimal standard of living necessary for the health, efficiency, and general well-being of workers. Occupation Safety and Health Act of 1970 which established the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, also known as OSHA, which is a Department of Labor agency charged with setting and enforcing standards for safe and healthful working conditions for working men and women. Okay, Immigration Reform and Control Act of 1986, which requires employees to verify the identity and employment authorization of all new hires, whether they are citizens or non-citizens. Must do this by ensuring proper completion of Form I-9 for each individual they hire for employment in the United States. Lastly, the Family and Medical Leave Act of 1993, which requires businesses with 50 or more employees to provide up to 12 weeks of unpaid leave per year upon the birth or adoption of any employee's child, or in the event of serious illness to a parent, spouse, or child. Labor unions play an important role in the United States by advocating for workers' rights, fair wages, and safe working conditions. They give employees a collective voice to negotiate with their employers on issues such as pay, benefits, working hours, and job security. Through collective bargaining, unions help reduce income inequality and protect against unfair labor practices, contributing to a more balanced relationship between employers and workers. Unions have also historically been at the forefront of establishing essential labor standards such as minimum wage, overtime pay, and health and safety regulations, benefiting both union and non-union workers across the United States. So what is a labor union? It is an organization that represents workers in dealing with management over disputes involving wages, hours, and working conditions. There are thousands of unions within the United States. Some examples of these are the industrial, some examples are these unions are: one, the Industrial Workers of the World, which is a labor union that believes in replacing outdated forms of organization with industrial system. The second one is the International Longshore and Warehouse Union, also known as ILWU. It's a labor union that represents dock workers on the West Coast of the United States. The third one is the United Brotherhood of Carpenters and Joiners of America, also known as UBC. It's a large and powerful labor union with over 500,000 members and offers training programs to its members. And the last one that we'll be covering is the United Farm Workers, also known as UFW, a labor union founded by Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta to improve wages and working conditions of migrant workers. So the different roles that you will see in a human resource department are: one, recruiter, the person that goes out and recruits for any new or temporary position; compensation, recruitment manager, human resource generalist, human resource assistant, HR manager, employee relations manager, HR coordinator, benefits administrator, professional development, HR specialist, performance management, payroll, employment specialist, and HR president. That's all for today's lecture. Thank you for joining.